Hi, Chad Maurice back here talking with RomaDrama Postables. And instead of doing an Instagram live today, I am Zooming it with Roseanne and Paula. Hi, Roseanne. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad. Hi, Roseanne.
Now, Roseanne, is that you got something behind you that says Oliver on it? Is that an essay?
Yes. Yes, I'm showing it. I'm showing it off. I got a blanket from a Hallmark fellow fan. She's not a postable, but the blanket is purple and it has Oliver written all over it. And I love it.
Now, you two recently met each other in person, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me about that. How'd that all come about?
I did one of those brief video and I don't know what you call it for mandolin for Amanda.
Yeah.
And Paula wrote to me on Facebook because she lives about 25 miles down the road from where I am.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not on Facebook very much anymore, and that's another story in and of itself. But when I finally saw it, I wrote her back and apologized for taking 2 weeks to respond.
Yeah.
And so we decided to get together for lunch in her town that following Saturday. So it was about 2 weeks ago, I think, wasn't it, Paula?
Yes.
That we met for lunch at a restaurant in Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
And she's the only other Arkansas postable that I know. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're both in Arkansas, right?
Right. There are two of us.
There's two of
right.
you. What city are you in? Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Fayetteville, Arkansas,
Okay.
where the University of Arkansas is.
Uh-huh.
And Paula is just down the road. I think it's about 25 miles. Right on the Oklahoma, Arkansas line. Siloam Springs is the name of that town.
It's kind of a homeland town. Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. Now, how long have both of you been on the Facebook group?
4 years for me, probably. Yeah.
4 years for you.
And probably a year to a year and a half for me.
Wow. So a year and a half, and you never knew that you were living so close together.
No.
You were probably seeing each other's comments and posts on Facebook and didn't even know it.
Right.
And
Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Now,
Yeah.
Paula, you did one of those videos or something for Mandolin, a letter or something, right?
Yes, for Amanda. She my granddaughter Sunny and I did it. We were actually out in Virginia at the time, and I said, and Sunny is 14 and she loves Signed, Sealed, Delivered too, and she's kind of an evangelist for Signed, Sealed, Delivered. She passes it on, so she was glad to make the video with me. So.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I've been watching all those and reading them. So where did you two, you're both in Arkansas, where were you born? Where'd you grow up? Who wants to start?
Paula.
Okay. Okay, I was actually born in Siloam Springs, and my husband was also, and we grew up here and everything. We after we got married, we lived in Pennsylvania and Missouri, and we finally got to come back to Siloam, and Kansas City. We finally got to come back to Siloam Springs.
They were high school sweethearts.
We were, yeah.
Oh, you were, okay. So you grew up in Arkansas, went to high school there?
Yes.
Did you get married right out of high school?
He had finished his sophomore year of college, and I had finished my freshman year. So we were both 19 when we got married.
Oh, so you were in college when you got married?
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Roseanne? Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Evansville, Indiana.
Indiana. All right.
And I grew up
Simone's from Indiana, another postable.
Right.
Yeah.
I was born there because that was the closest hospital to our hometown. I lived in Carmi, Illinois, which is about 40 miles west of St. Louis, or set west of Evansville, 120 miles southeast of St. Louis. And I lived there all of my young life until I left to go to college. And I was probably in one of the original blended families before we talked about blended families. And I had a stepbrother and a stepsister, a brother, and a half sister. And my my paternal father was a doctor, and he left us when I was about 5 years old. And I think that's why I have such a why I feel so connected to Oliver's story,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because he was about the same age, I guess, when his mother left. I guess he was a little older.
Uh-huh.
That's a very traumatic thing.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Anyway, I was in Carmi. It's a small agriculture community where there was a large oil boom in the late 1940s. And but it's primarily an agricultural community of 6,000 people. And unfortunately, everybody in town knew me,
Of course.
which didn't help with my mother. She knew more things about me than I probably knew.
So you went to high school in Illinois,
Yes.
and then where'd you go
Yes.
to college?
Well, I started at the University of Missouri as a journalism major,
Okay.
had a really good time, and they asked me not to come back. And I ended up at Southern Illinois University in
Oh, okay.
Carbondale, Illinois, where I graduated with a bachelor's degree,
Okay.
and went to work. And that's how I got to West Palm Beach. My first job out of college was at the Palm Beach Times. It's no longer there, but it was a sister publication to the Palm Beach Post, which still is there. And the interesting thing about it, the publisher who hired me had originally been in Evansville, Indiana, at the Evansville Courier, and knew my next door neighbor who was a freelance writer.
Oh, geez. Wow.
So, six degrees of separation or 7 degrees of separation.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, that's how it all started.
So you left Illinois right out of college and moved to Florida.
Yes.
Wow, you were young to move across the country.
Yes, I was. But I needed to get away.
Yeah, we really, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about Palm Beach later when we talk about RomaDrama. That's
Yes.
I was looking forward to having you on here because you've lived in Palm Beach, so you know the area. I'm sure it's changed a lot though since you've been.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what about you, Paula? Did you go to college in Arkansas?
No, I went to Oklahoma Baptist University and
Oklahoma, okay.
graduated from there. My degree was in biology, and I worked as a medical technologist, with kind of specializing in the blood bank area in the lab. And so that's what I did. I'm retired now.
Okay. So you worked in the medical field.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I kind of looked at the college handbook and I thought, don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a nurse. What do I want to be? And I saw medical technologist and I thought that sounds good. So that's what I did.
Now, Roseanne, what got you interested in doing journalism?
I can't really answer that question. I don't know. I was always curious about the world around me. We had a 5 day a week newspaper in our little town, and I started reading it when I was 9 years old. When I was in high school, I took journalism, and I was also a columnist. We had a teen center in Carmi, Teen Town, and for a year I was the columnist reporting on the comings and goings to Teen Town. It appeared every Friday.
It was a paper just for teenagers?
No, it was a 5-day-a-week daily newspaper in our hometown.
Oh,
And they
okay.
had a column in there that was coming and going to Teen Town.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote that column for a year, and my interest in journalism just grew from that. But I really have no idea. There is not one defining moment that pushed me into journalism. I just knew that's what I wanted to do.
Wow, that's neat. Did your high school have a newspaper?
Yes.
Did you
It
write
was
for that too?
yes, I did. It was
Did you?
called The Bulldog Barks.
The Bulldog barks.
Yes, yes. And I
My
wrote for it.
That's interesting. Now, how old were you when you were writing? You were still in school when you were writing for this other newspaper, the teen thing?
Yes, I was. I was a junior in high school.
Wow, and they hired you? Wow, that's neat.
Well, they didn't pay me. I just had to get up at the crack of dawn on Friday mornings and take my column down. That was in the days of typesetting.
That's impressive that you got started so young.
Mhm.
My mother thought I should be an English teacher. And I
Wow.
told her I didn't want to be an English teacher. And I was pretty headstrong and said, I'm majoring in journalism, and that's that.
Now, Roseanne, did you get married after college or what?
Yes,
Did you work a few years before you got married?
yes,
Did you? Now,
yes. I did.
did either of you have a Hallmark meet cute moment with your spouse?
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, it didn't last very long.
Oh, it didn't last. Oh.
My Hallmark, my signed, seal delivered moment was on our 50th wedding anniversary. And I don't have I always have my necklace on, but my husband gave me a necklace that is an envelope, and it's gold, and you can open it and there's a silver letter inside of it. And he also, for the fifth, when we went out to eat with all the family and everything, he wore a green tie.
Ah!
You didn't tell me that, Paula. That necklace
I
is
know.
so
We didn't
sweet.
get around to that.
That's
Necklace
funny.
is so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is he an SSD fan also?
He is. I mean, he's not as crazy as I am, but he has managed to spread the word about it. He'll tell people that, you guys ought to watch this. So, and we were at a restaurant one day here in Siloam, and, everybody knows everybody. And I'd seen a couple that I hadn't seen for a while, and I had just been to Los Angeles for the Postable get together when we went out there in 2018. And Ron started telling him about this, that I'd been to Los Angeles and got to see some of the actors and everything. And we started talking about it. And the couple that we were talking to, he used to work for Martha Williamson.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Back in the Touched by an Angel day.
Oh, wow.
And they just couldn't believe it. They were,
That is so sweet.
yeah, she had wanted to hire him full time, and at that time he couldn't, and then they just lost touch and everything. But it was an interesting, you just run into people.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, were you on the Home and Family show when Kristen was on there?
I was there. There was a group that had been there before.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started watching Signed, Sealed, Delivered, it was about 2017. And I was watching and I just loved it. And I Googled and found out everything I could about it, and found out that on Twitter, a group of them were talking about it. And they said, well, Kristen's going to be on Home and Family for the premiere of, I think it was Home Again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a week before, and one of them said, well, are you going? And the other one said, well, yeah, And Home and Family had a studio audience at that time. So they dropped everything and went out there to be on Home and Family to support the show and to see Kristen. And I thought, that is the best thing I've ever heard. That would be so much fun, and I'm going to do that someday. So when they decided for the premiere of To the Altar, there was Home and Family was not having studio audiences, but somebody in the Postables knew somebody out there, and they said, yeah, we'll let you come and be in our studio audience. And that was
okay.
when Kristen and Crystal were both going to be on it. And then they worked it out and they let people sign up for it. And all we knew was that at first was that we were going to go out there and be in the studio audience, hold some signs, support the show. And they said 20 people can sign up. So, you know, because I had already made this decision, I jumped at it and signed up. And so 20 of us, and then it evolved. They said, well, you can have lunch with the actors at
Wow.
this great, yeah, 20 of us, you know, it wasn't like 1,000. And it evolved to that. And so that was great. And then we heard from the lady that was promoting it. She said, well, there's another surprise. And we're all talking about what is this going to be? And after the show, Martha Williamson comes out.
Wow, that is so amazing.
Yes, and she was going to go to lunch with us too. And she said, and I've got another surprise. You're going to get to watch the premiere of To the Altar before it's on TV.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
anyway, it was a wonderful experience. I can't even say how great it was. And they just stayed. We had lunch. We watched the movie. That she had some of the producers and other people that were supportive of her in the shows there, you know, so we got to see them. So that was just an amazing, but you just, you know, when an opportunity comes like that, you just have to take the leap, you know, you just have to. And we didn't know, I mean, we were going to go just to support the show. We didn't know that all of this was going to happen. But I think Kristen and Crystal and Martha Williamson, they all just love to surprise people, you know.
Wow. So you've already met Kristen and Crystal.
I have.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I'm not usually a fangirl person, you know, that just gets crazy, but all I ever wanted to do was say thank you. You know, thank you for producing this show and for making this show and putting your acting ability into it and your writing ability. And I just could hardly speak, you know. I just stood there and took pictures with them, you know, stuff like that.
That's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny. That's great.
it was.
Let's talk about your families. How many kids do each of you have?
I just have one. He
Just
lives in LA. He thinks I'm certifiable because of my interest in SSD. And he's an independent financial advisor, and he's married, and he referees soccer when he's not financially advising people.
Oh, neat. So do you go out to LA to visit him?
I've only been out there once. He moved there. He and his wife moved there right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
So they've been buttoned down at her mother's house since.
Oh,
And I've only been out there once.
yeah.
I'm not sure. Now, I don't know. I don't understand how people can live in LA. I really don't. It is so crazy.
Is it? I've never been there, so I don't
Yeah, it really is. I was my first time there too. It was 2 years ago for Christmas, and just trying to find my way around LAX is enough.
What about you, Paula? How many kids do you have?
Oh, I have 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter, and I have 7 grandchildren and twins on the way. So
Twins. Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
we
Wow.
just found out about the twins. So
Oh, wow.
Now,
and they live, my daughter and my son lives right here on our property. My daughter lives close, and my youngest son lives in St. Louis.
St. Louis, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So he's not too far away, is he? St. Louis?
No, it's about 5 to 6 hours.
Oh,
6 hours. Yeah.
all right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Arkansas is bordered by like 6 different states, isn't it? There's like, you can,
Well,
Something like
we're up in the corner right beside Oklahoma and Missouri. So
oh,
we're
are
up
you?
in
Okay.
that area, the northwest
Oh,
Arkansas.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Um, let's see, I think we already talked about occupations. Roseanne, how many different papers did you work at?
I worked for the paper in Florida, the Palm Beach Times. Then I moved to Oklahoma where my brother was living and Jeremy was a baby and I worked at the Tulsa Tribune, which unfortunately is no longer there. And it seems like I have a pattern. And then I moved when the Tribune closed, I did a little PR work and that I'm not cut out for PR. I'm not diplomatic enough. And moved to Arkansas and I worked for 3 different papers over here in Siloam Springs. Then I worked for the Morning News of Northwest Arkansas, which was in Springdale. And then I worked for the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, which is now the statewide newspaper. And then went back to I forget. Then I went back to the Northwest Arkansas Times in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
And all those papers are now part of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. So and then I worked there almost 20 years and they retired me several years ago. And that's when I went to work at a charter school, public charter school.
Okay.
I answered the phone and answered the door.
So
And I miss the paper business.
that's pretty exciting writing for a newspaper. You were a regular Lois Lane.
Well, I guess. I don't know about that. I didn't know any Clark Kents, that's for sure.
I was gonna ask if you knew any Superman or Clark Kent.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So you never worked in TV journalism?
No,
Didn't have any desire to do that?
no desire.
No?
But at the time, when I was younger, much younger, television was getting a bad rap about hiring women who fit a certain mold. And I didn't. And I would imagine it's a lot different now, but it wasn't then. And I wanted to stick with newspapers. That's where I thought the action was.
That's where it used to be, yeah, newspaper.
But yeah, it did. It
Yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
in the last few years.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. What about you, Paula? You worked in the medical field, but you said you lived all around. You lived in Pennsylvania and all around, right?
That's right. My husband was drafted during the Vietnam era, and he did not have to go to Vietnam, but because he had some medical problems while he was in the Army, we ended up at the hospital in Pennsylvania, Valley Forge Army Hospital. So we lived up there for a little while, and I worked in the hospital up there. I had graduated by that time and worked in the hospital up there in the lab.
So
Yeah, and then-
hospital labs, is that where you always worked?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What do you two like to do in your free time? Your hobbies, interests? I always like to ask people this.
I watch Hallmark movies and particularly SSD, signed, sealed, and delivered. But I like to watch soccer and I like to sew and I like to read. Just be a part of the community.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, do you like the regular Hallmark movies or the mystery ones?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
I go back and forth between movies and mysteries and the Hallmark Channel.
Uh-huh.
And lately I've been watching some of the drama on Hallmark drama too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that the Hallmark network is going through some big changes. I wish they would decide what they want to do.
Yeah. Have you gotten into any of the new network, GAC family?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. What about you, Paula? What do you like to do in your free time?
Well, let's see. Signed, Sealed, Delivered has just ruined me for just about any other show.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
I do.
Yes, I agree, Paula.
Yeah, I do watch some of the older Hallmark movies and and some of the new ones, but I help out a lot at church. I help teach kids and sing in the choir and just have a bunch of friends here that we get together and have coffee a couple of times a week and stuff like that. So
Oh,
retirement is good.
so you're a singer, huh?
No.
No.
I can sing if there's somebody that's good singing beside me. I can sing a little bit, but yeah,
Well,
I just like learning the new music and stuff.
I expect you to be involved in the karaoke then at RomaDrama.
You put that karaoke, a couple of the songs out there,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't play the melody. And I'm going, I don't even know where to start on
Yeah, I
that.
know.
They're kind of hard to sing to.
Yeah, you have to listen to the song in order to really hear the melody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the original song. So
Mhm.
what were you teaching Sunday school?
I teach in Awana, which is we have it on Wednesday night, and it's just kids, not just our church, but from the community come and play games and learn Bible verses and stuff like that.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's
And
interesting.
I've got the second grade is who I help with. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I teach some Bible studies for adults, and I do teach my Sunday school adult class too. So
Oh, you teach adults too. That's good.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Now,
But we're old that we all know a lot of it already. It's not too hard because everybody chips in.
yeah. Now, how did you find Signed, Sealed, Delivered?
Well, my daughter called me and I had not even been watching Hallmark, and she said, "You're going to like this series on Hallmark." And it was not Signed, Sealed, Delivered. It was a different series. And so I started watching that. And I just happened on for Christmas, Signed, Sealed, Delivered for Christmas.
Oh.
These characters are so different. They're quirky and
Uh-huh.
I like the sense of humor.
Mhm.
And it was also the real Christmas story that,
Mhm.
a lot of movies don't show. And so I watched it and I loved For Christmas, and I Googled and found a list. Oh, and I loved the music in For Christmas, and
Mhm.
especially that last song, There's Still My Joy. I just
Mhm.
thought that was a beautiful song, and I'd never heard it before. And so then I got on and Googled and found all the episodes and started watching them. And the postal references just drew me in also, because my dad was a railway mail clerk
Oh.
on the train my whole life. He'd get on the train here. He was on the Kansas City Southern, and it would go from Kansas City to Siloam Springs, and he would get some of the postal workers would get on there and work the mail on the train, moving down to, I think, Shreveport or Baton Rouge, and then spend the night and come back. And then my dad and other postal workers here in Siloam Springs would get on it here and work the mail all the way up to Kansas City and spend the night and then work it coming back down. So I had a lot of postal background, and Teresa Capodiamante and all this stuff, the regulations and everything. It was perfect. I mean, Martha Williamson just captured about how Oliver, wanted to make 100% on his evaluation and all that, and they just had to do that. My dad he practiced sorting, he had to know all the post offices in like 4 or 5 states.
Wow.
And so anyway, that really, I just loved it, that was part of it.
Now For Christmas, you mentioned that. I think that's probably my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Someone asked me the other day what my favorite movie was, and I had forgotten about For Christmas.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best ones. Well, now what year was that? How long ago did you?
That was in 2017. That was
Oh, that's
just
right. You
like,
said that before, 2017. Okay.
yeah. And I just wanted to say thank you to Martha Williamson and to everybody. And so I found Alameda and Downing blog, and she had people writing living letters. And so I wrote a living letter for that. I wrote 2 actually, because there was more to tell. But so I wrote a couple of living letters, and mainly because I think Martha Williamson and the cast read those living letters more than they might be on Facebook or something like that,
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. What
yeah,
about
that's
you?
my favorite.
What about you, Roseanne? When did you discover the show? How did you come upon it?
Probably in 2020. I'm a new
Oh,
post,
okay. All right.
and that happened uh, when the pandemic hit,
Mm-hmm.
and the governor of Arkansas closed all the schools.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working as an administrative assistant at the school where I am now. And I was in a building by myself there every day from 7:30 to 3:30, answering the phone and answering a whole lot of questions from parents. So I would take my computer to work with me, and I had downloaded Hallmark Movies Now, had watched just about all of them that I really wanted to watch, and I kept running across this Signed, Sealed, and Delivered, and I don't even remember the first movie I watched, but I fell in love with it at that very first meeting.
Yeah.
And I went over to our other building. We're divided into 2 buildings, and told my Hallmark buddy over there, I said, "You've got to watch this." And she already knew about it. I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so impactful." And so I soon realized that there was a series of movies, and there was an order to them. So I sat down and made a list, and I watched them in order now still. Just about every day I watch one. And it's so uplifting. You have 4 very different people who demonstrate a close friendship every single day. And of course, they've divided into 2 couples now, but it's just, it's hard to describe. It's hard for me to describe that. It's just so uplifting. And you learn about friendship, you learn about love, you learn about passion, you learn about helping others, doing the right thing. And we all need a whole lot more of that in this world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's how I got started. Was too many empty days at work, and then I come home, and you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything, and that was something that nobody that I knew had ever experienced before. Everything shut down, and
Yeah.
and you don't want to go anywhere because you don't know who's got what, and
I know.
they may not be wearing a mask and all of that. So it just helped me. It helped me get through those months.
Yeah, I think the pandemic created a lot of postables.
I think so. I think it did. And
Yeah.
and I understand that.
Mhm.
I understand that.
Mhm. Yeah. So what do you 2 love about the show? I think we already talked about this a little bit. I think you already mentioned a few things. But what do you love about it? What drew you to it?
I love Oliver.
You love Oliver.
I love them. I love them all. They all bring a different dimension to that movie, to those shows.
Uh,
Um, I think Oliver was the one I identified with first, but you know, you find qualities in each one of them that you want to be like, or you want to shape your life like.
mhm.
And I don't know. I can't. It's hard to describe my feelings for it, but it just runs so deep. And
Had you seen Eric in anything before SSD?
no,
No, okay.
well, I take that back. I saw him one time in a brief part that he had in Blue Bloods,
Oh, okay.
the series Blue Bloods.
Mhm.
And at the time, I didn't realize who it was
Mhm.
and didn't pay that much attention to it. It was just a guest shot.
Mhm.
But then I was watching Blue Bloods reruns after I discovered SSD,
Uh-huh.
and he pops up again, and I went, "Oh my gosh, there's Oliver."
What about you, Paula? What drew you to the show? What do you love about it?
Well, we've talked about how it just makes you want to be a better person, you
Yes.
know?
Mhm.
It really does. And a lot of people have said that. And just the kindness and supportiveness that Shane showed to Oliver, even though he was married, and he wasn't gonna cross that boundary or anything, but she was a good friend to him. And I like that because they were all friends to begin
Mhm.
with, and
Yeah.
supported each other that way. And it took a while for the romance, and it took a while for that first kiss and all of that.
Mhm.
And that's just not like hardly any other show you're going to watch,
I
No,
know.
no, it's not.
And so I don't know. I just liked everything about it. Love the music. I love Kebmo. I mean,
Mhm.
Oh,
and I had never really heard Kebmo that I knew of. I've gone back and watched some of the Touched by an Angel shows, and he was on a lot of those,
yeah.
and
Oh,
his
was he?
music
I didn't
was,
realize
yeah,
that. But
Wow.
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I don't even know what else and I like that we all tweet together,
Mhm.
and it's just the fans are so much fun.
Mhm.
And before I went to LA that time, there was an opportunity for about 15 of us to get together in New Jersey. And so here I am flew to Washington, D.C., rented a car, and then drove to Cape May County, New Jersey, to be with 15 people. I had no idea who they were or anything, and some of my friends here were saying, "Oh, don't go, don't go." And I said, "It's going to be fine." I said, "I've been on Twitter with them for a while, it's going to be fine." And we're going to go to church. It's already, there's a pastor, Rudy on the radio. I don't know if you all have heard of him,
Yeah.
but anyway, Rudy was the pastor at the Lighthouse Church in New Jersey, and that's why they were meeting there, is so we could see Rudy. And he's a huge SSD fan
Mhm.
and Hallmark fan and everything too. So anyway, it was so much fun. And I walk into the hotel room, and there's 15 people I don't know, and everybody, so many of them brought gifts, nice gifts, and stuff that they had made or that had to do with signed, sealed, delivered. And I mean, that's another thing that I like about it, is just the fans are great people.
Mhm. So who are the other Postables you've met? You must have met a lot of them.
It was Mary Beth
Mhm.
Rudzinski
Yeah.
and Ann Murphy, Joy Tiffany, Joy, and Fotula.
Oh, yeah.
Fotula Bucas, yeah.
I
Um,
I tried to get her to join us today. All right.
yeah, yeah. Oh, she's she's fun.
Is she? Is she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah,
She is.
yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to her someday.
Yeah, she's from Boston.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, oh, Tamara and I'm trying to think, I'm gonna leave. Oh, and then my roommates, uh, when I went to Pennsylvania, we didn't know if we were all axe murderers or what, so we were careful and I roomed by myself and all this. But since then, and after that, we went to the Postal Museum in Washington, D.C. And
Oh,
so my roommates, Rosemary and Jane, who goes by Blair on Twitter.
oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
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 wait a
they're
minute.
longtime fans. And so just a bunch of great Bernadette. And we met Rudy, and Rudy has a show, a radio show. I don't know
Mhm,
if you guys have listened to it. And he plays oldies. It's on a
mhm.
couple of, he's a DJ as well as a pastor. And he plays a lot of signed, sealed, delivered stuff.
Oh,
And
does he?
he interviews some of the signed, sealed, delivered actors. Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat.
And he's always talking to the Postables. So when we were there, we left a call out with our names, and he'll play that during his show and stuff like that. And so
Neat.
he's a great
Mhm.
person.
Now, do you have a favorite movie in the series? Can you pinpoint one or not?
All of
Just
them,
go ahead, Roseanne.
all of them.
All of them?
Although I've really been struck by the vows we have made. That is just over the top, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
and reason that they should continue that series
Mhm,
to see where the two married couples go.
mhm,
Right.
mhm. What about you, Paula? Can you pinpoint one?
Well, probably for Christmas and the pilot, because the pilot just set it all up and
Yeah.
started us off and everything. And then each one as I watch it, though, I just love it. I mean, there were a few in the series that I thought, oh, that's just silly. But then when I go back and watch it again, I love them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh, that was my next question. If you have a favorite TV series episode when they were doing the 60-minute episodes.
oh, wow. I just love the ones with Teresa Capodiamonte in it.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
and then the ones with Valerie Harper,
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
knowing that she had the brain tumor, and the ending of To Whom It May Concern was just perfect.
Mhm.
She says, "Don't forget me," you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they had quite the guest stars. Those two and then Carol Burnett.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. What about
What
you,
would
Rosa?
you say, Chad? What's your favorite?
Oh, that I think the one with Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
The very last one, what was it? Hope in a Future.
Open
Uh-huh.
future.
That's the one. I think just because I've always liked her and I thought she just stole that whole episode, just her appearance. I just loved that. What about you,
Right.
Roseanne? You got a favorite TV series episode?
Probably, and I don't know why, but probably the treasure box that we
Oh,
watched
yeah.
last night.
That's a good one.
And I think it's because Oliver shows such um, sensitivity to Shane,
Hmm.
and she's not brazenly manipulating him. Uh, but I like all of them, but that one was, I think it was pretty close to the top for me.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you both,
What?
were you as shocked as I was when Oliver says to Mrs. McInerney that it was love at first sight when he saw Shane at the coffee stand?
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was a
And
little bit confusing. That was a little confusing.
yeah, it was. And I was shocked when he said that.
Yeah.
Well, but I think she pushed him into it. I think Sherry, what was her
Yeah.
actor's name? Sharon, I
Sharon.
think she kind of pushed him into it. And he had to say that or something. I don't know. I mean, I think he meant it too, but I think it was attraction. I don't think it was, I think he just kind of felt a soulmate there,
In the pilot movie, he was like irritated by Shane.
Yeah.
Right, he
When
was.
they met. Yeah.
But when they met at the coffee stand, there's a flicker there of attraction.
Right. But not love.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was shocked when he said it was love
Yeah.
at first sight.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
it's-
gonna
I think it
go
slowly
with that.
grew into that, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's great that everybody can have their own interpretation of things too. You know, I think she kind of
Mhm.
leaves it like that, you know,
Mhm.
that it might mean something to you and you might take it one way and might mean something else to somebody else.
Now, what'd you think of that last movie? Did it feel like a finale to you, or do you think there'll be more?
Well, I listened to Martha's interview with Chandel,
Mhm.
and she like she's done in so many of the movies, she didn't know if there would be
Yeah.
other movies, and she wanted it to
Yeah.
be right for the fans, you know.
Mhm.
So, but she said she'd like to do more.
Oh, yeah, the whole cast would like to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
well,
do you
I'd
think?
like her to do more.
Yeah.
I think there will be more, but that movie just felt like such a finale to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even if they don't do more, that's a great way to end it, but I think there will be more. I think there will be.
I think, yeah. I agree.
So let's talk about RomaDrama. Roseanne, you've been to Palm Beach. What's Palm Beach like?
Well, I lived there over 40 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
Well, it was because I'm older than dirt.
No, you're not.
But Palm Beach is different than West Palm Beach, and we're going to be in West Palm Beach. Palm Beach is a winter spot for the famous and wealthy. And I used to hang out in Palm Beach just because it was fun to do. But I worked for a city editor in West Palm who used to hang out with the Kennedys when John Kennedy was president, and he would come to Palm Beach. And of course, I was young enough to be impressed by a lot of things. And I every time I went across the causeway into Palm Beach, I always drove up North Ocean Boulevard, go by the Kennedy's house, just in case you could see something. West Palm Beach was a city of, the time I was there was a lot of Hispanic immigration from Cuba. And it was, so there was quite a mixture of population when I was there. And I lived in West Palm Beach, just off Dixie Highway, which is the main road through town. But I'm expecting to see a lot of changes. And I haven't been back in 30 years. So I saw a lot of changes then, but I expect to see a lot of changes. And as a matter of fact, the convention center where the RomaDrama is going to be held wasn't there when I was there.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, no, it was a municipal auditorium, but it was out by the mall. And this one it's on Okeechobee Boulevard, and I think it's closer to downtown. That was one of the things I had to learn how to pronounce Okeechobee.
Okeechobee.
And I don't know. I'm just excited to go back and see what's happened, what's changed. And I seriously doubt that any of the people I knew then are still there.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them have moved to the west coast of Florida. One of them has moved to Fort Pierce, I think. And I've lost touch with all these people. So I'm excited just to go back and see what I can see.
Mhm. Now, did you say, was it a ritzy, expensive place back then?
Palm Beach was, yes,
Was it? Okay. Mhm.
yes. That's where the Trump mansion is. It was owned, by that point in time, it was owned by Marjorie Merriweather Post.
Okay.
And it sat between the ocean and the intercoastal waterway. Beautiful estate, or what I could see from the highway, the road. A lot of beautiful homes in Palm Beach. And I don't know, it was just a different atmosphere 40 years ago than it probably is now.
Mhm. If people have time to do any tourist things, anything you recommend that they do?
Well, of course, go to the beach, which I think somebody is planning a morning drive to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming it's the municipal beach in Palm Beach. I would, if I had a car, if I rented a car, I would be driving up and down Ocean Boulevard and looking at all the houses.
Ocean Boulevard.
Worth Avenue in Worth Avenue in Palm Beach is the shopping center. A lot of well-known stores are over there. In West Palm Beach, and I can't remember the name of the street. I lived a block from it. But it goes north and south along the intercoastal waterway.
Okay.
And that's always a pretty drive.
All right.
And I would just look around. West Palm Beach.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot to see there.
Mhm. What about Paul? Have you ever been down there?
Yes, I actually have a
Yeah.
brother that lives in West Palm Beach.
Oh,
He
okay.
lives in a condo. He's not wealthy or anything, but but yeah, I saw it. But it seems like we're going to be pretty busy,
Uh-huh.
with the
Yeah.
RomaDrama, all the activities and everything. I'm looking forward to that, and just looking forward to seeing the postables I've met before and the ones that are now on Twitter and
No.
Facebook.
When was the last time you were down there in Palm Beach?
It was a couple of years ago. It was in
Oh, okay.
2018. It was actually after the premiere of To the Altar. My brother had some surgery and his wife was ill and everything, so I went for a week.
Oh,
But I just went between the hospital and his condo, so I didn't really look around or anything.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're more familiar with how it looks today than
Yes,
Roma.
Kinda, yeah.
would be.
I've been to the airport,
You've been to the
He-
airport.
Is your brother an SSD fan?
No, he's not.
Well, we need to convert him. We need to get him straightened out.
I sent him some videos, some DVDs, but I don't think he's watched them. So
Now I know, I was gonna ask what you're most excited to see at RomaDrama. Roseanne, I know it's Eric for you.
Yeah.
What about you, Paula? What are you most excited to see?
well, I am most excited to see my friends,
Uh-huh.
that I've met up with on other trips. It's really the most exciting thing. I will love to get a picture, with Kristen and Crystal, because I just think they're wonderful people, and I've never met Eric or Jeff, and
Mhm.
so it'd be interesting to see Jeff, because
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
he's
think
not
he
on
goes,
social media as much and
yeah,
everything.
I don't think he goes out in public much.
Right, yeah. So that'll be interesting, but he's really funny. I've seen him on
Uh-huh.
interviews and he's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the karaoke night, I want to be an observer, not a singer, but I think
That
that'll
will
be,
be me.
yeah.
I'll be an observer that night too.
You're gonna be an observer that night?
Yeah, back in the corner.
Well, besides Eric, what are you excited to see, Roseanne?
Well, I'm excited to meet all four of them. I had a phone call with Kristen, and she's so delightful that I'm looking forward to meeting her.
Oh,
And just just the other two, Crystal and Jeff. I just want to meet them all. Want to shake their hands
mhm.
and thank them for what they do. And I would love it if Martha Williamson would show up.
Surprise, a surprise.
Yeah.
I would love to meet her. Her writing, and of course, as a writer myself, her writing is just wonderful. And I thought that back in the Touched by an Angel days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. I used to watch that show.
Yeah, I did too.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, what did you, both of you get one of the Postables package for your tickets?
I did. I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did too. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to bid on Shane's wedding dress?
Considering I'm never getting married again, no.
Yeah, I don't need another wedding dress.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'll
That's
be
gonna be interesting though, it's gonna be fun.
it'll be fun to see the dress.
Yes, it
Oh,
will.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to convince Kristen to maybe put it on, get some pictures of her in it.
Oh, that'd be great.
That
That'd be
would be fun. That would be
Mhm.
fun. The
Mhm.
thing that I enjoyed a lot about the Nashville Roma drama was meeting the people that I knew on social media, meeting them in
Right.
person. I think I think I enjoyed that more than actually meeting the celebrities. It was
Yeah,
fun. It was fun
I agree.
seeing people that you've interacted with, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I told Paula when we met that this is so far out of my comfort zone to go to something like this by myself, not knowing a soul, but now I know Paula,
Mhm.
not knowing a soul, and I have never, ever done anything like this.
Uh,
So I have no idea what to expect, but I'm expecting a lot, I think.
yeah,
And
You
just
have to take that leap.
it's,
Have
just
to
getting
take the leap.
just
It's
getting to know the people
Yeah.
that I've interacted with on Facebook and on Twitter,
Mhm.
and shaking Eric's hand and meeting the other four or the other three actors.
Well, you won't just shake his hand, you'll get to hug him.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
it's a fun
I'm not-
experience. And
I'm
what-
not sure. I'm not sure I could. I told somebody, I think in that last Instagram live that you did, I said something about I might faint if I got that close to him. And I think it was Beth said she was going to bring a supply of bags for us to breathe into. And I said, you better bring 2 for me.
Yeah, you won't, yeah, yeah, it'll be a fun experience.
Oh, I think it will be. I think
Yeah,
it will be.
And once you go to this one, you'll have so much fun that you'll want to go to more conventions.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Just hope I can afford it.
So, you want to tell people what your social media handles are so they can follow you?
Sure. On Instagram, I call myself Carmi Kid, CarmiKid. And that's left over from the old AOL days.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock. And I did that mainly for my son, because of my son. It's a long story, but and then on Twitter, I'm NWA Rose and P. And on Facebook, I'm just Roseanne Pierce.
Mhm. Mhm. What about you, Paula?
I'm PK Harp. So it's just my name, PK Harp. And on Facebook, it's just Paula Harp, I think. So
PK Harp on both Instagram and Twitter?
yes.
No,
yes.
what's the K stand for?
Catherine.
Catherine, oh, okay.
Catherine with a K, yes. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me so that other postables can get to know you.
I've
Appreciate
enjoyed
it.
this.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, to both of you again.
I told you in an email chat, I wasn't sure what I could talk about that would others would find interesting, but you've seemed to bring it out in me. I'm used to asking the questions, not being asked questions.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh.
Yeah.
Well, you two have a good holiday season here this month, and I will see you next month.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you both in Palm Beach.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.